Hi everybody, it's Ellen Jaffe Jones. I am doing the YouTube edition of my recent developments and things that I'm up to, like getting third in the US for my age group, which is 65 to 69, in the National Senior Games. This was the 4x1 relays, so each of us had to run 100 meters in a section. There were four of us to run a section of the track, and one of the women on our relay team did what's called a face plant at the last minute right across the finish line, and we were like 1/100th of a second behind the second place finishers, but she broke her shoulder. And it's long been my contention that sprinting is a lot more dangerous than endurance running, even though what you're seeing behind me is that I have placed in 117 5K or longer races, even a half marathon, for my age group since 2006, just on plants. But the ambulance had to be called 3 more times during my week competing at the National Senior Games and all the different track events that I did, which included the 50, 100, 200, 400, 800, and 1500 meter. This was for the 4x1 relays. That's a bronze medal, third place. And here we have fifth place for you only get a ribbon after when you start placing in fourth or below. They give you ribbons in fourth to eight places. And just to give you an idea, I had to compete at the county level here in Manatee County, Florida, and then at the state level in Florida, you have to qualify. You have to get in the top 3 or 4 places in Florida to be able to qualify for nationals. So there are lots of people who come to nationals, sometimes with a personal trainer or a coach. Me, I'm just a weekend athlete. I don't do this very seriously, although many women do call themselves full-time athletes at my age group. Not happening with me. But this was fifth place for the 800, and then as you can tell, I'm sort of better at those what we call middle range distances, because the longer distances are the 5Ks, which they also have competition for at the National Senior Games. And then I got 7th again in the 1500 meters and 7th in my age group for the 400 meters. So that's how it came down. And I also did respectably in the 50, 100, and 200, but not nearly that good, so we won't even mention it. But I wasn't last, and that was really my goal in going to the Senior Games, because I had been dealing with bronchitis for an entire 3 months before the games. I got them while speaking. I got bronchitis while speaking at the Nashville Veg Fest, and we stayed at an Airbnb that had air fresheners, and I tried to throw them out, and the next morning I still woke up with just this hacking cough, and it stayed with me. So I've had bronchitis, if you followed me at all, throughout my life, but once I went vegan, the dairy faucet at the back of my throat went away, which it often does for a lot of people. So upper respiratory infections, sinus infections, pretty much a thing of the past. So I know it took a real strong trigger and challenge to my immune system to make that happen. And of course, being on the road, traveling as I do with all my different books, it does present its challenges. And speaking of different books, this is the show and tell session where I have a new book that's just come out. We're going to get to that in a minute, but my publisher likes me to come up with different banners featuring my books so that when I go to speak at Veg Fest, they're all on one banner. So there we have Eat Vegan on $4 a day, Paleo Vegan, Kitchen Divided, and Vegan Fitness for Mortals. And then at the bottom here, my book that's coming out in August, Vegan for One, because so many people, more people live by themselves than actually live in units, at least in the US. And then Vegan Sex for Mortals. Okay, we'll just, we're gonna show you, because this really is why I do this video, the inaugural box. It's just come out, I guess I should say. I'm co-authoring with Joel Kahn, who is a cardiologist, and he goes on Facebook by the name of America's Healthy Cardiologist or Healthy Heart Doctor, something like that. And he's just been a hoot to work with, and he has come up, I think, with all the possible puns that you could imagine. He also, the great creative mind that he came up with a cover too. I did not design that, and did raise the point, is this family friendly enough? And sure enough, somebody has already commented, just like on the day one of the book coming out, if I see one more artist illustration using fruits and vegetables as sex organs, I'm going to be very upset. But actually, if you Google fruits and vegetables as sex organs, we are definitely not the first. There's like a billion hits on that one. So anyway, Joel's idea that we had to keep it kind of at least communicating what the message of the book was while keeping it somewhat non-graphic, but it truly is, I think, an interesting book based on his medical experience and the scientific research which he talks about. Beverly Lynn Bennett is the co-author who put in 100 different recipes, and some of the titles she came up with, and as well as the recipes, are really creative, like this one, making whoopie pies, and I don't know if we want to do the double entendre with pound cake, but anyway, that is a recipe. And so there are just very clever recipes here. I'm just looking to see naughty nibbles, snacks and appetizers, beet burgers, Aphrodite salad, mood enhancing. Well, okay, I lost the page on that, but you get the idea. Lots of vegan aphrodisiacs, and there actually are some. Whether or not you believe they work, it could be the placebo effect, who knows. But this is, that's Beverly, and that's Joel, Dr. Kahn, who will be featured with me at Vegetarian Summerfest that's coming up in a couple of weeks from this broadcast. If you have not registered yet, you still can. It's otherwise known as Summer Camp for Vegans. This will be my third year going back, and it truly is a great place to go in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, where they take over a college campus, and you can meet other like-minded souls. And it's almost a week long, depending how long you go. You can just go for the weekend, or you can go for 5 days. I think it's 5 or 6 days. I'm going to be speaking 4 times. So, and of course, I'll be speaking about this topic. So, Kindle, it's been, I don't know when you'll see this, but I am broadcasting this, putting it together for Sunday, June 25th. It is 99 cents through the end of the day, and then it goes up after that. And then there's also, of course, the print version as well. So that is all I have in terms of an update, and I encourage you to get involved. Whatever activity or sport you enjoy, wear the vegan shirts as I did at the National Senior Games. I'm not wearing my Eat Vegan on $4 a day shirt, but when I do, I always get all kinds of comments. My favorite story of the National Senior Games is I'm walking to register, check in for my next event, and I hear and see a group of people talking next to me as I'm about to walk by. There's this guru, self-appointed guru, in the middle of about 10 women who are listening intently, and I hear her say, if you want to get rid of your belly, give up broccoli. And, it's one of those things when you walk by and you think, did I just hear what I think I heard? And then I turned in time to see another woman in the group responding, saying, but my parents have Alzheimer's. I've heard that broccoli is good for Alzheimer's. And the guru's going, oh, no, it isn't. And so I go up and I walk with my shirt and I go, and I'm holding this award, and I go, I just placed 5th in the U.S. in my age group in the 800 meters, and I eat lots of broccoli. And this is my book, Eat Vegan on $4 a Day, if you want to know how to do that. So immediately 2 women kind of pivot from the group, and they turn around and they start taking pictures of my shirt. There's so much misinformation out there, and we as vegans really have to get the message out. I struggled with vegan sex on exactly how to write about it, because my part of this is the personal, the experiential, the before and after. And as I will say in my talks, my first line will be, I was a vegan virgin until I was 62. And without giving you the details and spilling too much of what's in the book, I don't name any names, either before or after, and I try and keep those details, and will until my dying days, of who's who in the book. I call everybody an X, because except for one, everybody is an X, and try to communicate how we kind of accept erectile dysfunction as a part of everyday life. And for me, it started with my partners when I was 28 years old. and we all thought it was just the way it was as a result of having maybe early heart disease. I mean, the mainstream doctors are even saying if you have erectile dysfunction, it can be the leading indicator of heart disease. And I've been with at least one partner who had ED for decades and was in total denial that he had heart disease until he had a heart attack. So that's what we're seeing out there, and to the extent we can communicate how wonderful it is to be with a vegan, not only from a physical standpoint, but an emotional one as well, that is what Vegan Sex is about. So I've gone on, come to Vegetarian Summerfest. I'll be speaking at Chicago Veggie Fest and a bunch of other places, so just friend me on Facebook and you'll see those announcements when I have time to post them. All right, everybody, gotta run.